Was Sunday special for you? A big meal day, because traditionally it has been the big meal of the week.
Yes, well, I think probably it was. On a Sunday, we were all dressed in our best clothes. Everybody wore Sunday clothes. Most men had got a lounge suit for Sundays, and they wore them on Sundays, whether they went out or not. That was the day for dressing up. My sister and I always wore brown stockings on a Sunday and black all the week. For breakfast, we always had bacon and egg and fried bread, plenty of fried bread. And then we went off to Sunday school. Some of us went to Sunday school in the morning as well as the afternoon. And my parents went to church on Sunday afternoons. They went to the Pleasant Sunday afternoon at the Baptist church every Sunday afternoon. So as soon as the dinner was finished and we'd washed up, off we would go. And then tea time on Sunday was the day when we had brown bread. We didn't have brown bread during the week, only on Sundays. We lived more elegantly, really, in those days. Breakfast time, we had china, teacups and saucers, and they had silver whorls all round them. And then tea time, we had china cups and saucers again, but they were just with flowers on, that kind of thing, you see. But each one of us had a serviette. We had our own serviette ring, and they were kept on the sideboard. They were all different. We all knew which was which and whose they belonged to. And every meal, a serviette was put on the table. Breakfast, dinner or tea, we always used serviettes. And we always sat down to the meal. All the family sat down together. And we discussed things at the table. All kinds of things we discussed.
We have a photograph of you here with your family, all dressed up in your best bib and tucker. There's your father on the left, in such a Sunday suit, and your mother very smart on the right, and 1, 2, 3, 4 children. Is that you at the front with the...
That's right, sitting in the little chair at the front.
What sort of a dress is that? Is it a pinafore?
There is a pinafore, and in front of there's a little dress and a pinafore in front of it. We always wore pinafores, the girls, in those days. And the boys wore white collars, celluloid collars mainly, and they had to be washed. And the men wore starched collars. My mother had a big pile of washing every week. Of course, there were no washing machines, or we hadn't even got electricity. And there was a big copper in the kitchen, and the water was boiled in this copper, and all the rubbish was burnt underneath, and there was, on washing day, it was all very warm in the kitchen. There was a range grate in the kitchen as well, a big kitchen. There was a table and a range, although we didn't really live in there. My mother did her cooking and everything in there. But the washing every Monday morning, my father always filled the copper with water, and then my mother got on with the washing during the morning. Sheets were changed every week, a long line of sheets and night clothes and everything. People were spotlessly clean. Although we hadn't the facilities, there was no hot water on the sink, and we had no bathroom, but we had a great big iron bath which was kept hanging on the wall in the yard. And every Friday evening it was brought in, the copper fire was set going in the afternoon, plenty of hot water in the boiler, and in the winter time Mother would light the grate. There was a big black grate that had to be black-leaded every week, and we would have a fire in there, and the great big bath was laid down in front of the fire, and it was my turn first because I was the smallest. So my mother would help me have a good bath, wash hair, everything. And then it would be my brother's turn. But Mother always emptied the bath. Some children, some houses, they used the same water over and over again. But we'd always got plenty of water in the boiler. And we'd got a big hand scoop. And she'd scoop out all the water down into the sink. And then scoop some more clean, warm water in and fill it up with colder water. And my brother would get in and have his bath. And so it went on all through the family. The only one who didn't have a bath on a Friday was my father, because they had baths at Bourneville, and he was able to have his bath there at the works, you see. My mother was a wonderful person. She was good and kind, and she was always there. If we fell down, she was there to bandage our knee. She was there if we had any worries or troubles of any kind. You could always go to Mother.